2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back to Football by Rob. It's Rob here. The first match week of the Premier League season is in the bag now, and we are going to do a quick review to go through the happenings and the events of the match week. Now, we won't go through each and every game, but we will just gloss over the entire match week and then focus on some of the games that had important incidents, storylines, as well as refereeing decisions in them. All right. So, before I get into all that, I just want to say that I've been told by a lot of people that my plugs are way too late in the videos. So I'm going to just try and switch that up and put that right up front. So if you like my content, please consider liking and subscribing. Share this video with anybody if you think they might enjoy it, or even if they don't, if you think this might wind them up, share it with them as well. The interaction always helps. I'm basically trying to get the YouTube algorithm to like me, so every little bit helps. If you think my content is worth engaging with, please drop a like, subscribe, share, all that. And you can also leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll respond to them if and when you do. I'll also be putting a link for some artworks and t-shirts that I make at the bottom of the description, as well as at the end of the video. You can check them out if you'd like. I'm wearing the Thierry Henry print that I made for his goal at the Santiago Bernabeu in the Champions League. They're all hand-drawn. There's no AI involved in these drawings whatsoever, and every little bit helps. So if you think my work is good, please consider supporting it. And yeah, that's about it. Enough of the shameless self-plugging. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. So, after almost 3 months, the Premier League was finally back. And to be honest, there was only one way to describe how it felt, and that's right here. I think I can speak for most Premier League fans when I say that the energy that we had was exactly like this, fans. And we were all just dying for football to come back, and now it's finally back. So it was really fun to see that the whole season got underway and everybody can enjoy for the next 9 months. The first game of the season was Liverpool, the defending champions, hosting Bournemouth. This was followed by the early kickoff on Saturday between Aston Villa and Newcastle, and that followed Brighton and Hove Albion hosting Fulham, and then Sunderland came back to the top flight for the first time since 2017, and they were hosting West Ham. Tottenham hosted Burnley, newly promoted Burnley, and they made quick work of them. And Man City just trounced Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home in the final game of Saturday. And on Sunday, the match day got off with a London derby between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. This was followed by Nottingham Forest beating Brentford pretty convincingly, 3-1. And then the biggest game of the week, Manchester United versus Arsenal, where Arsenal were fortunate enough to come back with all 3 points from Old Trafford. And the game week was rounded off with promoted Leeds United taking on and beating Everton 1-0. Now, there were a few, let's say, questionable refereeing decisions in some of the games, and we will get to all of them one by one, but we are going to go chronologically based on which game happened when. So we'll start with the Liverpool game. Now, this was a pretty serious and emotional atmosphere at Anfield. As you can see here on my screen, the crowd put up a display for Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, the two footballers who tragically perished in a car crash last month. Diogo Jota was a Liverpool player, and Andre has not played in the Premier League, but they were both in the car together at the same time, and every Premier League game commemorated them this weekend. So when this happened, I mean, you could feel the tension and the emotions in the atmosphere, even through a TV screen. You didn't have to be in the stadium to understand just how heavy everyone's heart was. And I can only say, kudos to Liverpool for being able to manage the emotion and put in a really professional performance and come through what I can only say is a difficult experience and difficult match. Now, while all these fans showed their class here, there was one fan who grabbed the headlines for all sorts of wrong reasons, and we'll get to him as well. But before that, the first wrong headline of the season was grabbed by the illustrious PGMOL. 13 minutes into the season, the Premier League reminded us why they are the Premier League. And what am I talking about? Well, in case you haven't seen it, well, let's go through it now. Right here. This is Bournemouth defender Senesi with a blatant handball, as blatant as you'll see it. It's practically a basketball move. And he's done it in the 13th minute of the game. While, if you can see, Hugo Ekitike, he's clean through on goal. If I just take you away from this screen and show you here what we are at. So this is the handball moment that I'm discussing. Look at that. Tell me that's the natural movement or the natural body form or body shape of a footballer in motion. And then I'll tell you that I have a bridge to sell you. I mean, this is just abysmal now, bordering on comically stupid. And I seriously don't know how these referees are appointed or how they get into this sort of a job either. I can understand the referee not noticing this, but the VAR saw this, didn't do anything about it. I think they've come on their Sky Sports show today and they've already started saying, oh, this should have been a penalty and or this should have been a foul and this should have been a red card and whatnot. I'll just show you the positioning as well if you haven't seen it. Hey, what happened here? Hold on. Yeah, right here. So if you see, this is the position on the field. Hugo Ekitike is clean through on goal. He's goal side of the defender. He's about to get the ball in his control and take a touch and push it forward. And he's clean through on goal. This is a clear goal scoring opportunity the moment he gets ahead of him. And until and unless Senesi uses his hand extended in that manner, there is no way he is going to grab either Ekitike or the ball. So how has he gotten away with this? We won't know. And now, two things I'll tell you. First and foremost, the VAR for this was Michael Oliver, regarded as the most accomplished referee in England. Make of that what you will. And secondly, if this was an Arsenal player, he'd be sent off. Now, it may seem like I have an axe to grind or an agenda to bring to the table. I completely do, because I have seen so many questionable decisions go against us. I have seen William Saliba foul somebody here in this part of the field with another defender here in motion to track him back, and he gets sent off here. But this, with nobody else, not a soul, all three other defenders are in the opposition half, not a soul to save his life, and he doesn't even get a foul, a card, nothing. Nothing. Make it make sense. I don't know. Liverpool fans, if you're watching this, I'm totally with you on this. This should have been a sending off, and the game, which was a very enticing and feisty encounter, it would have been dead even before it got started. I totally understand that. Liverpool would have probably run out like 4-5-0 winners if they were playing over 60-70 minutes with a man advantage. But anyway, enough of that. We'll get back to the points now. We'll get back to the talking points. So this foul was not given, all right? And still 1-0, still 0-0. And then we come back to the issue with the fan that I mentioned. So do you see this guy here? He apparently decided that it was very prudent to come right to the byline and hurl racial slurs at Semenyo, this Brighton winger, who is just about to take the throw-in. Now, I'll play the video for you as well. You can see his animation. You can see how he's behaving. And the man's in a wheelchair. Buddy, how are you going to talk the talk when you can't walk the walk? How? And so if we just go into all the other information also, right when this happened, Semenyo took the throw-in, and then when the ball went out after that, he informed the referee, and the game was delayed temporarily. And this is what the Premier League Match Centre put out. Tonight's match between Liverpool Football Club and AFC Bournemouth was temporarily paused during the first half after a report of discriminatory abuse from the crowd, directed at Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo. This is in line with the Premier League's on-field anti-discrimination protocol. The incident at Anfield will now be fully investigated. We offer our full support to the player and both clubs. Racism has no place in our game or anywhere in our society. We will continue to work with stakeholders and authorities to ensure our stadiums are an inclusive and welcoming environment for all. Now, kudos to the Premier League for being so prompt about it. At least it's not shambles like La Liga, where the referee tries to placate the person who is being abused and tell them, don't take it too hard. It's just some words and stuff like that. This is actually refreshing to see. Fair enough. But, and again, I don't have anything against Liverpool as a club when I say this, but they are a very classy club. It's a shame that that same sentiment cannot be extended towards the fans. Some fans are decent, but there are a lot of people in Liverpool who are just vile. And I'm sorry I'm saying it. It is what it is. I've been there. I've experienced this firsthand as a brown person. the sort of racism that goes on in Liverpool. No. That club, with all their class, all their legacy, they deserve better than these type of fans, these Liverpudlians or whatever you want to call them. Absolute disgrace, some of them are. They will come and say all this, and then at the same time, they will be championing a Van Dijk or a Salah, and rightfully so. They should be championing them. They're amazing players. But then you cannot have that energy for those people of color and then do this to an opponent. You cannot call Trent a snake and then egg Isak on for being disruptive and wanting to leave his club to join yours. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have your cake and eat it too and leave some in the fridge and send some out for takeaway as well. No, you cannot. So I just want to put it out there that Liverpool fans, do better. Do better. Hold these sort of people accountable. I will. I don't care if he gets docked straight now. So according to reports, the Liverpool supporter is a person called Mark Morgan, 47-year-old. Sits in the front row at Anfield, thanks to his disability benefits or whatever you want to call it. And then finds time to do this. Look at him. Here he is, taking a photo with Emil Heskey. And then he goes and does this to Antoine Semenyo. So keep that energy for him. I've been told that he's received a nationwide stadium ban. Good. Hopefully it's a lifetime ban. People like this do not deserve to be at a football pitch. They can go to the pub, get pissed drunk over there and hurl their abuses while they get into a DUI rolling down the bloody sidewalk. So yeah, let's just get that out of the way. What is amazing is that Semenyo didn't let this get to him. And in the second half, he showed amazing character, and we'll get to that as well. So yeah, so after the racism incident happened, Hugo Ekitike finally broke through a really good pass from the midfield to send him clear, and he scored the first goal of the game. He then went on to set up the second of the game as well, shortly after the second half, for Cody Gakpo, right there. Now, at this point, everyone is thinking, oh, Liverpool in cruise control, they're just going to, put their foot on Bournemouth's neck and just be done with it. But Antoine Semenyo had different ideas. He was like, nah, man, I'm not going to let that happen. A massive impact on this happening as well. I don't think Kirkes will allow Semenyo to get past him as easily as Robertson allowed it to happen here. But it was a very well taken goal. And then we thought, wow, game on, perfect, let's get on to it. And then shortly after that, Semenyo did this. So he picked up the ball, we didn't get the full highlight, he picked up the ball a little bit behind, and then he ran the whole length of the pitch, gave his defender the eyes. I mean, you can actually see Van Dijk running away from him. Maybe that's why he's never been dribbled past, because he's always running away from things as opposed to going forward for the challenge. And it was a stellar finish. And I cannot praise this man's character enough. To be in a situation like that, you're 2-0 down, you've been the recipient of all this abuse, and you're at Anfield as well. It's always a hostile environment for any visiting team over there. And they just, they grow on you as Liverpool get more dominant in the game. So the fact that he managed to do this was just brilliant, in my opinion. And we thought, well, maybe Liverpool aren't that invincible after all, and maybe there is a chink in the armor. But then that is where the Champions class came through. Crazy. It's just crazy, this goal. And while I will praise Chiesa for this, I cannot help but notice the two defenders. I mean, what are they doing? What are they doing here? Just look at this. He lifts it through. Look at the two defenders here. Look at these two. Look at these two. Call for the bloody ball. No, my God. This could have so easily been cleared. Or, you can just let it go for the keeper too to collect. But no, 87th or 88th minute, Liverpool had been running them ragged. So it's understandable. I don't condone it. I understand it. And then, just when we thought it was all done, Mo Salah stepped up and bagged another for his club as well. And that was that, 4-2. And this was rounded off with... I'm just putting the audio off because I don't want any copyright issues. Yeah. This was rounded off with Salah clearly, visibly, really emotionally shaken, and you could see him just in his feels completely. I mean, this was more than a game for Liverpool. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I cannot help but commend them for being able to manage their emotions and be professional in such a situation, So really, really good job by them. Anyway, So that was that. Liverpool got the season running. That was the first game. And then we had a bunch of other games. So again, I'm not going to go through all of them. I do have media here to show you. So the Everton Newcastle game was again nothing to write home about. The only major development in that game was the fact that there was this foul from Ezri Konza on Anthony Gordon. Wait, hold on. I think I have it here. Yeah, you can check it out. So right there, they'll get the ball. Hold on. So Aston Villa will lose the ball, and just when Newcastle are trying to transition quickly, you'll see Gordon getting goal side, and then he'll just get pulled down. And this is an elementary red card, so there's nothing like it. There, right there, he's gone. He's gone. There's no way in hell Ezri Konsa is catching him. So he has no option but to pull him down. Now, to be fair, I think Anthony Gordon also did make a meal of it. It wasn't the most sturdiest of pulls, but I think it is enough for a foul. And the referee agreed as well. So this was the red card. Now, after that, Newcastle weren't able to capitalize on this. And I think a huge reason for that was the fact that Alexander Isak was not playing. He still has not played a single minute for the club. There have been differing stories and opinions coming out in the media where they have mentioned that, Isak had apparently informed the club earlier itself that he had no intentions of continuing beyond this season. And Newcastle are adamant on the other side. They are pretty they are pretty convinced that they have all the cards, they have all the bargaining chips in their hand, because Isak still has a 3-year contract. And I don't think Newcastle are in any sort of PSR hole either, where they have to sell by a X date, in order to be compliant with the financial rules. So I can see this going both ways. I can see a situation where Liverpool get him for a price which Newcastle will think is not enough, or not matching the sort of value that his ability and his contract length should warrant. And at the same time, I can also see a situation where Liverpool back out of this deal, and then Newcastle just tell him, oh, you don't want to be reintegrated to the squad, you can hatch X, go play with the reserves. Or better, don't even play, just sit, pick up your paycheck and sit. Because Newcastle aren't pressed for cash, they have money. Let's get that right. But Newcastle, and Eddie Howe most importantly, he is somebody who is like a no-nonsense manager. So he's not going to have any disruptive elements in the changing room, in the dressing room, who can, poison the atmosphere. And in a hypothetical situation where he doesn't get the move to Liverpool, what happens to Isak? Because this is a World Cup year. I'm not sure if Sweden have qualified yet or not, but Sweden are probably in the hunt with 48 teams now. I would expect Sweden to get through. Is it doing him any favors to be in a situation where he doesn't know how much game time he's going to get, if at all? Is he going to just sit and be rusty when the World Cup comes around next year? I don't think it's prudent on his part. But again, I don't know exactly what the details are. We only know it from a surface level, or whatever the reporters are telling us, right? So maybe there is something untoward that's happened behind the scenes as well. That's probably got Isak ticked off like this. So it's possible. I mean, I grew up thinking Ashley Cole was an absolute snake, and then just last year, I think I realized that, it was actually Arsenal who screwed him over with that really shitty contract. And that's when he said, oh, you know what, I don't want to stay here anymore. So I can get that happening. But anyway, yeah, let's get off this. So the referee, the Premier League Match Center also mentioned this about the red card that I mentioned. They said that the red card to Konza was for the denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, doxo, right? Right here, the first inconsistency. If this is a doxo, why is Senesi on Eketike handball not a doxo? Or why is that not a red card? I think it should be a red card straight. Even if it's not a doxo, it's a red card, because it's a blatant handball. You're not even trying to disguise it. You're actually attempting to use your hand to dictate the flight of the ball. You are also denying the last man, and it's cynical. So by definition, it should be 2 yellows or a straight red, either or. There is no way you get past it. No matter what you choose, the destination is going to be the same. But again, this is why the Premier League are the Premier League. They decide what they want, when they want, how they want, in the moment. And everybody has to live with it, for better or worse. Anyway, we move on. We also had the Sunderland game, where Sunderland were really good. And nobody expected them to be this good. They came out for the game with a tifo that will make Arsenal jealous. I mean, this is a newly promoted team with a tifo like this, better than what that bloody duvet that we put up in the semi-final for the Champions League last season. Right there, this should put all the bloody board of directors at Arsenal to shame. One, for not allowing the Ashburton Army to put up a proper tifo, and secondly for okaying that absolute piece of shit. My God, I wouldn't wipe my cat's backside with that tifo, let alone put it up as a display to intimidate the opposition ahead of a crucial Champions League game. But yeah, anyway, so Sunderland came out with this tifo and they didn't disappoint. They scored 3 goals in the second half, and they just completely ran riot over West Ham, to be honest. I mean, I didn't expect them to be this good. Yeah, that's Isidore celebrating the third goal. And I think there were 2 more goals by a guy called Mayenda, and I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Target, maybe. Hold on, let me just check. What was his name? Ballard, sorry. Ballard, Mayenda, and then Isidore. Amazing result for them. I think this was their first Premier League win since they beat Hull City 2-0 back in 2017, towards the end of the season then when they were getting relegated. Really good job for them. And again, refreshing to see from a Premier League perspective, because 2 of the promoted teams picked up wins on their first match week of the season. And of late, in the last few seasons, the promoted teams have been absolutely dross. You know, they're just like cannon fodder there to make up the numbers for the sake of it. So it was really refreshing to see this. Right, that's done. We also had Brighton take on Fulham. Again, nothing to write home about. Matt O'Reilly gave Brighton the lead from the penalty spot in the, I think I want to say after the 50th minute. And just when you thought that, okay, you know, Brighton are going to walk away with all 3 points, step up Rodrigo Muniz to score in the 7th minute of stoppage time. That's rough. Now, sidebar, I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I have a soft spot for Brighton because I did my uni over there. I've actually been to the Amex Stadium as well. I used to go there for games and stuff. And yeah, I just like Brighton because they are a decent club and they're well run. They aren't into doing shady things or doing dubious activities to get ahead. So yeah, I like them. And again, I was just a bit disappointed to see them not get the win. Now, apart from that, there was nothing home to talk about except for Calvin Bassey's shots, which kept falling off. I mean, you can see them here, how loose they are. The Fulham kitman has work to do, to be honest. So yeah, that's about it for these guys. Then we move on to Spurs versus Burnley. Now, again, those who know me will know I'm not a Spurs fan, but I'm also not a hypocrite. So I will give credit where it's due. And Richarlison and Mohamed Kudus were really good. Again, I agree, this is Burnley, not the best team in the world, not the yardstick that you want to measure against all the time, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And the fact that they were so convincing was what I really liked. So I'll just show you. So Richarlison's first goal, both were assisted by Kudus. The first goal was just a cutback and Richarlison puts it into the bottom corner. Good goal. But the second goal, top bins, top class. I have no words. Just take September, October, when you have multiple kickoffs a week, that's when we'll see who's made of what actually. So yeah, that happened. Spurs ran out easy winners. This was followed by the City versus Wolves game. The City versus Wolves game. And Tijani Reinders just stole the show here. I mean, look at him. He's setting up the first goal here. It's not his assist, but it's all his hard work. I mean, that goal does not happen without this footwork, that amazing lofted pass. And then just minutes later, he scores his first goal as well. And amazing, the way he just glides past defenders like it's nothing. It was extremely pleasing to watch as a neutral, but terrifying to watch if you're a rival of City's. And yeah, I'm worried, man. Once this guy and Rodri are back together, it's going to be scary for the rest of the Premier League. I can tell you now, it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy at all. Right there, that's the third goal he set up. Amazing. This guy was just on song. And I don't know how City do this, man. How do they keep going and getting these amazing players for such bargain prices? I mean, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. We also had Ryan Cherky get on the score sheet as well, which was his first goal for the club. Again, amazing football. And there you go. Boom. Really, really good. Again, how no other club went for him is a mystery to me. I would have loved Arsenal to sign Ryan Cherky, and especially for the money that they've signed him on. But no, we'd rather go and sign bloody Noni Madueke, overpay for that, as opposed to looking for deals like this. Make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. I have nothing to say apart from that. But yeah, Reinders was just different gravy yesterday. And if this is just him right now, I dread to think what's going to happen within a year or two with Pep. Because he's already like the finished article now. And it's only a matter of time before he just, goes up a gear. God, is going to be scary. I'm going to tell you now. It's going to be scary. Okay. Now, after this, we are done with Saturday. We move on to Sunday's games. So Sunday's kickoffs were started off with the London Derby, like I mentioned. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Chelsea at home. Now, early in the game, 12th minute, 13th minute, Eze has a free kick, which he just blasts through. Look at that. Boom. And initially we thought, perfect goal. Really good goal. Really poor keeping from Robert Sanchez, but good goal. But then what happened is, the PGMOL came out. I'm sorry, the Premier League Match Center, my bad. They came out and they said VAR overturned. After VAR review, the referee has overturned the original decision of the Crystal Palace goal, and they have announced that the away number 6, Mark Gahey, is less than 1 meter away from the wall as the shot is taken. Therefore, an indirect free kick and a disallowed goal. Okay, fair. If that's the rule, fair. No qualms about it. But then, if that's the case, then why is this goal allowed? This is from last year. Reece James's free kick. Look at where the Chelsea players are in the wall. Just look at that. I'm going to forward it. Oh, hold on. There we go. Just see this here. Where are these players? How close are they to the wall? Let's pause back. See, when the ball is about to be struck, look where they are. How close is this? How close is this? Right there. How close are they? Why is this goal allowed and that not allowed? Explain it to me. Don't explain it to me, explain it to the fans. Explain it to the people who are watching. Explain it to your most important stakeholder, the fans, the people who make it possible for you to have these exorbitant TV deals, to have all these sponsorships, to have more money than all the 5 leagues combined. How is that a goal and this not a goal? Either they are both goals or they are both not goals. Again, I have another example for this as well. Bruno Fernandes, this is against Arsenal last year. Bruno Fernandes with the free kick. Where are the Manchester United players? Let's go here. Hold on. Oops. Here. Where are these players? Where are these players? Is this not 1 meter away? Is this not more than 3 players in a wall? Tell me I'm crazy. This is what I'm talking about. There is no consistency in the Premier League when it comes to officiating. There is absolutely zero consistency. You don't know what is what. And again, when I mention consistency, we are still not done. We are going to get to it. Keep that Bournemouth handball, the Senesi handball, keep it in your mind, because we're going to get to it. We're not done yet. Right there. So if this is a goal, why is Eze's free kick not a goal? Now, if you ask me personally, I think they're all goals. Football is a contact sport. And until and unless the defender is coming and obstructing the goalkeeper's view from an offside position, I don't think there is any interference. But make it make sense. Now, I'm telling you now, you can clip this up later on. I won't be surprised if a situation comes where a City or somebody else are playing and they do this exact thing and the free kick is allowed. But when a Crystal Palace, when a Brentford, when a Leeds or anybody who isn't a top 6 or one of those big name clubs do it, then the refereeing is different. Why? Why cannot it be consistent? We need to ask these questions of the PGML. Howard Webb needs to answer all these questions. I read an article earlier in the Athletic earlier in the week where he was talking about how we want to humanize them. You want to humanize the referees? Absolutely great, perfect. We don't want to dehumanize them either. And start by accepting their mistakes. Don't double down on them, because that's what you do. You come on that bloody show with Michael Owen and you double down on it. You send your henchman Dermot Gallagher to double down on things. Why? You're lying to the world. You're lying to yourself. Stop it. Nobody wins with this. Nobody wins. The Premier League loses. Every other league's fans laugh at us for the way VAR is implemented. I have a friend who's a Serie A fan. He's told me, the Serie A is known for being one of the most corrupt leagues in the past with VAR, with refereeing. I'm sorry. Ever since VAR has come, look at them. They're fine. Nothing's happening. No scandals. In the World Cup, everything gets done quickly. There is no 5-minute review for an offside. In the Champions League, doesn't happen. I remember last season in the quarterfinal of the Champions League with the Arsenal and Real Madrid when Mbappe gets a penalty in the second leg. And Declan Rice is adamant that, I haven't done anything to him. I'll tell you now, Michael Oliver gives that penalty and then no VAR has the bollocks to stand up and tell him that, buddy, I think you need to go check the screen. You might have messed up this one. They can't. They're worried. They're scared. They're running petrified of this man. Worried what he's going to do to them. They're worried that they'll have to, be sent to the lower leagues or something if they don't kowtow and do exactly what Michael Oliver and Howard Webb and all say. So this is something that needs to be addressed. I cannot state this enough. And I'm not just saying this as an Arsenal fan. I'm saying it for the entire Premier League, because there is no point being tribalistic about this. Today this can affect you, tomorrow it can affect me. Day after it can affect the next person. And then today you're laughing at somebody. Tomorrow when it's you, everyone will be laughing at you. And I know Dave Chappelle has said everything's funny till it happens to you. But yeah, one day it will happen to you. What you gonna do then? Count the shits and giggles? No, right? So yeah, speak up about this. Everybody needs to speak up about this. If I were Palace, I'd be asking Howard Webb to give me a proper explanation. Why is it so? And if this is so fair enough, then why are those other goals allowed? We need answers. We deserve answers as fans. Anyway, here's another angle of that same Bruno free kick that I mentioned. Look at it. Look at it. Look at these guys. Look at them. Look at them. How close are they? If they are within 1 meter, right? Even in the law, it's not clear. It says 1 meter or 1 yard. 1 meter is not 1 yard. 1 meter is 1 yard, 0.09, something like that. So even then you can't be exact. Then what are you on about? Decide, is it a meter or a yard? Are you allowed to push or not? Is it a contact sport, or are we becoming namby-pamby butterflies? Make up your mind and then tell us. And then once you tell us, don't go back on your word. Simple. Anyway. Yeah, so this was the VAR overturn that they mentioned, right? Now, I honestly don't get it. And then we are going to go into the Everton Leeds game, and then right at the end, I'm going to review the United Arsenal game, because again, I have vested interest in that. So look at this now. Oops. Look at this. So this is the handball that James Tarkowski was penalized for, and Leeds got a penalty, and Everton lost the game. Just for the record, I don't have any love or support for either of these teams. I am a neutral. I just want the Premier League to be the best league in the world. That's where I am at. Watch this. Okay. Why is this not a penalty then? Look at that. Now you tell me, which one is more deliberate? Which one looks like he is actually trying to extend his arm and get something done? Which one? Was it this one? Or this one? Go on, I'll wait. Or even better, hold on. Which is the more blatant handball? This or this? This is not a penalty. Funnily enough, this I think happened in the season. If this was against Everton, if they get the penalty, I think, and if they score, it's a draw, and Liverpool probably win the title that season. And again, I know a lot of fans are going to come and say, these sort of refereeing decisions and stuff like that, they get evened out over the course of a season. Maybe. But the Premier League has been such a tough league over the last few seasons, especially with the emergence of Guardiola's City and Klopp's Liverpool in that era, that the finest of margins become these absolute massive chasms. 1 point is too crazy. I mean, we've seen a Liverpool team not win the title after getting 97 points and 93 points. No Alex Ferguson team ever got over 90 points. So that's the level of competition that we are at. And when everybody is putting their all, you are going across the world to bring the best talents, the best players for the biggest wage packets. You have the biggest TV rights deal, everything you can ask for. Why are we still persevering with substandard officials? Why are we still giving substandard, incompetent officials the ability to referee the biggest games? Why are we not outsourcing foreign referees the way we outsource foreign talent for the league? Why not? Surely it can't be a money issue. What is it about? We need answers on this. And this is the first week of the season. This is, I can guarantee, I can give it to you in writing right now. This is not going to be the last. This is not going to be the last. And until and unless all fans unite, irrespective of your club allegiance, irrespective of who you hate, who your ops are, who you want to be tribalistic towards, we have to all come together and tell them that, look, boss, you are not up to the mark. You are not up to the standard. Buck up or get out. That should be the stance. But no, it won't happen. We are only going to have a situation where Liverpool fans will laugh at Everton fans for getting this handball, for example. And then, for example, if a Luis Diaz goal gets wrongly disallowed or not added, even though it was onside, then Everton fans will laugh at Liverpool again. And the world will keep spinning. That's the problem. That is the bloody problem. Okay, refereeing rant over. Now, we are going to go the big one. United, Arsenal. Let's go. Let's get going. So, this was the score. Arsenal went and beat Man United for the first time since when? I think 2024 May was our last win at Old Trafford. Good win. We got a draw last season over there. And it was really refreshing to see United fans talk about, oh, you know, the performance was so good. We were really good. We put pressure. We played so well. Oh, the referee was against us, this, that, and the other. Felt nice. I was like, hey, I've seen that before. I've seen that movie before. Nice. Oh, you guys like it too, huh? Oh, nice. How the mighty have fallen, must say. But to be fair, I will give them props. I think United were the better team going forward with the ball. But that wasn't down to them being better than us as a team. It was probably more down to Arsenal still being very rusty as a team, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments if you think so. But it just felt like we were still, you know, in second gear. And the fact that we got that goal early on, so I'll just show you the goal as well. This was a sticking point for a lot of Manchester fans, Man United fans, and I'll show you why exactly. So right here, this is the goal. Declan Rice takes the corner. He's put it right on Binder's head, and he's not been able to punch it properly. And Calafiori's just, you know, nodded it into an empty net from literally 0.001 yard out, right there. Now, a lot of people were saying that Saliba is interfering with the play. I'll just go there. Arsenal. Right there. Hold on. Yeah, so if you see right there, apparently Saliba, he's got Mason Mount's shirt and he's managed to wedge himself between the goalkeeper and the defender. And he's put pressure on Binder. Apparently, he's also nudged his elbow like this. Apparently. It is there on screen. Okay, I'm not okay. He has done. But I still think this was very soft and weak. I mean, look at that punch. What is he doing? And United were really incensed. They felt they were hard done by this decision. Okay, fair enough. You think so? But then we go and see this. Look at this. This is a corner in the second half. I'm just going to pause it right there. Do you see that right there? That's the Man United defender. He's doing the same thing to David Raya. Same exact thing. But what does Raya do? Here, watch. Raya punches that out like a man. Like a man. Look at that. Look at that. That is the textbook definition of you versus the guy she told you not to worry about. Facts. I'm sorry, United fans. Accept it. That's not a foul. And if that's a foul, then what you were doing to Raya was also a foul. Not to mention, Gary Neville. I have no love for this man. Gary Neville pointed it out. This is that Arsenal corner. This is Rice taking the corner. This is Calafiori. This is where the goal's going to happen. Saliba's here. You can already see him jostling for positions with Mason Mount. Sorry. Look at this. Cunha has a hold of Zubimendi. Luke Shaw has a hold of Gabriel. But no, nobody's worried about all that. Nobody's crying about all that. Nobody, not one person, has anything to say about that. Why? Why the double standard? Guys? Look at this. See? I'll just play this for you. If it plays. Oh, it won't. There, look at this. This is Luke Shaw and Gabriel. This is not a foul. This is before. This is even before the ball has got to Binder. So, by the process of elimination, this happens before that. United fans, please, in the comments, I want to hear what you have to say about this. Is this a foul or not? Look at this. I'll keep playing it. Look at this. You can see the jostling. Zubimendi is grabbed by Cunha there. Gabriel's nearly getting undressed by Shaw over here. But that's nothing. Then, there was also the talks of apparently United being robbed of a penalty. Now, I'm just going to play this out. It's in slow-mo. Watch it for yourself. And tell me who initiates contact. Okay? Go on then. Let's run that back. Saliba is where he is. Look who's run into him. Look who kicks him first. Right there. Right there. Whose leg is that? Who's wearing the black socks? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a ghost? Who? Who is it? Look at that. He initiates the contact. And then he uses the second leg also to kick, to try to hit him here. And that's how he says, oh, you know, I've been fouled. Now again, clever. I want to say it off the bat. I like Matheus Cunha as a player. I wanted Arsenal to sign him. I like Brian Mbeumo as a player as well. I wanted Arsenal to sign him. I'm not saying this right now because they are playing for Man United. I'd have the same energy if they were playing for Arsenal too and if they tried to do something like this. Win a foul in a deceitful manner. If that is a foul, then I'm 6'5". Fair enough. It's as simple as that. Thankfully, the referee didn't give that. But again, had the referee given it, I don't think the VAR would have overturned it either. So it can go both ways. I don't think that's a foul though, personally, because Saliba's standing his ground. This guy walks into him, initiates contact, tries to initiate the second contact as well with his right foot. Then he falls down. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, good foul. No. Nah, buddy, not buying it. Not buying it. And then we take a look at everything else that Manchester United fans are talking about. Oh, you know, they said that we were the better team, we played better, we took the game to Arsenal, they were barely doing anything. And if you see the XG, yeah, they had slightly better XG than us, fair enough. But then let's just scroll down and check the stats. So they had more possession, again, fair. They had 22 shots and 7 of them were on target. So 32% of their shots were on target. And Arsenal had 3 shots on target out of a total of 9. So they had 33%. One thing I will say is we got lucky with David Raya making amazing saves. We got lucky with the fact that we've managed to get this game out of the way before United could get up to speed, because I think they were also a bit rusty. I don't think they have been as what would I say, sharp from preseason either. I think if we play this game after the first international break, Cunha, Mbuemo, they easily score with the chances that they created, and then it's a different ballgame altogether. But again, if Arsenal don't score or if United equalize, then maybe Arsenal don't take their foot off the gas either. One thing I will commend Arsenal on is we have slowly but surely learnt the ability to just shithouse away. And I cannot praise them enough for this, because so many times I have seen Arsenal get bullied all over. I have seen them get bullied by Stoke, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Man United. We have played so well at Old Trafford so many times and come away with nothing. So it felt really nice to see that even when we are not clicking, even when we are not firing on all cylinders, we can be resilient enough to see a win out. Once we get a goal, come and break us down if you want to. And to be fair, I also think that we were a bit rusty ourselves. Victor Gyökeres had a debut to forget. He was extremely, extremely poor. And I think it was not his fault entirely. I think it was down to Arsenal as well, not playing the right ball at the right time. I think I can count at least 5 or 6 instances off the top of my head where Gyökeres made a good run and either Odegaard messed the pass up, or Martinelli made the wrong run, or Saka just couldn't get past his player to play that final ball. And this is something that will come with time. It's not going to happen overnight. This is not some FIFA simulation or football manager or something like that. This is real life. It takes time to gel. It took only 7 games to score for Arsenal. So anybody who's writing Victor Gyökeres off after 60 minutes, 60 really poor minutes, they need to introspect. They need to be told that their ball knowledge is not good enough at this point in time, and they still have a lot to learn, in my opinion. It was a decent performance from us, but again, I think there is extreme room for improvement as of now. Just here, look at this. You have Gyökeres running, making this run. You have Saka running, making this run, and Odegaard doesn't pass to either of them. Odegaard just messes it up. And look at this. I'm going to play this video. Just watch it. This will show you the different times that we could have just opened them up. Look at this. Look at this. He's messed it up. The pass should have been 2 seconds ago. Right here. The pass should have been here. Right here. This is where the pass is. Look at him. He's got his back turned. It's either there or you put it through there. Gyökeres is ready to run. No. Dilly-dally. I don't know what's wrong with him. Ever since man's had a kid, he's just not been on the pace. Now, I don't know if it's the fatherhood getting to him or something else, but he needs to buck his socks up. Otherwise, I wouldn't want him to be my starting attacking midfielder. Look at this again. This I'm mad at both of them. But here I'm more mad at Martinelli, because look at this. Your defender is gone there. This is the time to make this run. He's not looking at you. Go on. What are you going to do? Stretch. Make Yoro decide if he wants to go with you or not. And if he goes with you, then boom, the gap is open. And then Saka can also go through this gap here. But no, what does he do? Watch what he does. What is this? What was that? Play that again. What in absolute hell was that? Look at that. Look, it's right there. You're supposed to make the run here. Why will you? See, he's played the pass for that as well. He's played it over there. Odegaard's not done it wrong here. I won't hate on him for that. But what is Martinelli doing? And why has he become like this? Martinelli 3 seasons ago, he used to take on his defender. He would get to the byline. He would get to the wing, stretch the defense out, make something happen, and then provide that room for the extra man to come in. That if he does that, Gyökeres can run in, Calafiori can run in. I'm really, at the end of my patience with Martinelli. He'll have these flashes, but then the basic stuff he will do so bad that's very hard to stay on his camp. Anyway, you keep seeing this. Odegaard is also at fault. This one also. Decent pass, okay, could have been better. Saka didn't do well with it. This right here, it was offside. This again, this criminal. Look at this. He's clean through. Delict is not going to get him even if he, straps on a jetpack from GTA 5. And what does he do? He doesn't pass it to Saka either properly. He doesn't pass it to Gyökeres also. He does some, I don't know what bullshit. I don't know, man. What was that? Why? And this right here is why I would have loved Eze to be on the team. And right now we are seeing a situation where Eze might be going to Tottenham. I mentioned this when we signed Madueke in my earlier video. That Madueke is the kind of player you sign at the end when you've got all your main targets in. And now we are in a position where we are not signing somebody because Madueke is already in. Again, a lot of people have come out and said this could also be down to the fact that Wanjeri's got a new contract. There's Dauman as well. So they don't think there is a requirement for Eze, who is again somebody who cuts in and who wants to occupy the center attacking midfield area or the left 8 area as opposed to being a traditional out and out winger. Well, even Madueke isn't an out and out winger either. And again, from the looks of what Gabriel Martinelli is doing, I don't even know what he is right now. He's not a winger. He's not a forward. He's just somebody who runs a lot, like a headless chicken sometimes. And it's frustrating. I'm sorry, but there is no other way to put it. It's frustrating to watch. We could have easily, I'm not saying we would have scored more, but we could have had more chances on goal. We could have put their goalkeeper under more pressure if people make the right decision at the right time. And nobody did that. Even when Madueke came on, he got absolutely rinsed by Amad Diallo. He got rinsed. Now again, maybe it's because he's still rusty. He has not had a lick of preseason. I think his last game was the Club World Cup semi-final for Chelsea. So I can understand him being rusty. But that's the thing. You have to get players who are going to hit the ground running. Zubimendi was also pretty bang average yesterday. Nothing to write home about. I was hyped about him after the Bilbao game. No, all that hype is with Reinders right now. Reinders showed how it's done. And mind you, this City team has not even had the same amount of break or preseason as us because they were at the Club World Cup. Now, I'm not saying you have to be City, but if you're going to compete against City Liverpool, you have to be at the races with them. They cannot be winning 4-2, 4-0 and we are bloody scraping 1-0. I guarantee you now, this City team will thrash United. This Liverpool team will thrash United. When they come to Old Trafford, they'll play better than us. Maybe they might not win or I don't know what the result will be, but they will create more chances than us. They will put the keeper under more pressure than us. They will stretch the defense out more than us. Our pass completion rate, I just want to show you this here. Where is it? Where are we? Manchester United, Arsenal. So this is player stats. Where is passes? Where are the passes? Passing accuracy, 72%. This is our lowest since the 2-2 draw at the Etihad last season when we were down to 10 men for more than a half and we were just booting the ball away and playing Park the Bus FC. What Park the Bus? We parked a bloody Airbus over there. Well, it told Fly Emirates, you put it down here. But we weren't down to 10 men yesterday, on Sunday, sorry. We weren't down to 10 men. We were same number, 11. I would say we probably have the better quality players at this point in time. To be fair, they did show out really well. I have to give credit to Lenny Yoro, he played really well. Dilic played really well. Apart from that one time where Gyökeres shoulder charged him, he really had the better of Gyökeres. So fair enough. Luke Shaw played very well. I did not expect him to be this good. But again, that could also be down to Saka not being fully match sharp or match fit yet. So fair enough. But I will give props where it's due. I was expecting Luke Shaw to get rinsed. But he played well. Casemiro played well. Bruno was okay. I didn't expect Casemiro to play this well. And again, I don't expect him to play this well either once the season gets going. I think Casemiro being this good in this game was down to the fact that he's just coming into a game after an extended break. The moment you're playing week in, week out, I don't think Casemiro is in the position where he can start and finish 390s back to back in this point in his career. Excellent player, amazing legacy, really good on his day, but his best days are behind him. Father Time and Mother Nature are undefeated when it comes to taking players. And I think Casemiro is on the block, slowly. But still, he played really well. I will say that Manchester United actually had the better midfield performance than us because Zubimendi looked bang average. Odegaard, I just showed you, made more mistakes than decent passes. He had a couple of good moments where he skipped past one and nutmegged somebody and tried to take a shot. Not enough. That is not enough. I'm telling you now, it's not enough. It may have been enough when we were just emerging from the banter era and Emil Smith Rowe and Saka and you're on loan and whatever you do, we'll take it. Not anymore. The standards have changed. The variables are different now. We are not some upstart team with a bunch of 20, 21-year-olds anymore, with no proper financial backing either. There is a ton of money that has been put into this squad. And I want Arteta to be brave enough to make the calls. I would have taken Odegaard off after 60 minutes and played Wanyeri yesterday. Sunday, sorry. He was that poor. Facts. Now, I'm not saying Wanyeri is by definition just going to get onto the field and bag 2 goals and an assist or something like that. No, I'm saying he would have been better on the field than watching Odegaard. Odegaard was just not doing it. You could see that it wasn't working. So I don't understand why we did it. Even Gyökeres, it wasn't working. I would have liked Kai Havertz to come on even sooner, or maybe you start with Kai and then move on to Gyökeres. But yeah, these are just like, these are very fine margins, and on another day United could very easily have won this game as well. So I'm glad that we got 3 points, because again, we have an extremely difficult start to the season. We have Leeds after this at home, and then we have to go to Liverpool. Then I think we have trips to Newcastle and City as well pretty soon. Oh no, I think City we're playing at home. But yeah, we are playing all these teams. So every point is going to matter. I don't care that the performance was not great, as long as the win is there. But if we are going to play like this, we are not even going to be one of the favorites. We are, at best, we will be fighting with Chelsea for who is third, who is fourth. Because what I saw from Liverpool, what I saw from City, they are not messing around. They are not wasting time. They are not. And we cannot either. Yeah. That's about it, guys. I'm just going to leave it here. I know it's been a long one. I promised you a short video, but I'm sorry. It's been a long one. If I think it's too long, I'll probably try and break it down into 2 parts. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to just leave this here now. I'll drop the link for my t-shirts, like I mentioned. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do that. Please like, share, subscribe. Please consider interacting with this video. Please drop a comment if you want. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Peace.